Hey everybody, I'm Alistair. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making my version of a Hainanese chicken rice, and my guest today is my friend Jamil, who is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt from the Academy of Mixed Martial Arts here in Perth.
How you doing?
Hey man, thanks for having me, dude.
Thanks very much.
Awesome, good stuff. Alright, what do we got? Alright. As per your request, I got Hainanese chicken rice.
Nice.
So I've done two types of chicken for you. I've done a poached one, it's eaten cold, and I've got a kind of grilled one there.
Beautiful.
And my own kind of fresh chili mix.
Great, this looks great. It smells great, it looks great, Alistair. You've got a bit of soup here. What's the soup we're talking about here?
Just chicken broth.
Chicken broth, nice.
Ginger, garlic.
Yeah. So all the good stuff you need for winter, it's right here in this bowl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been a bit cold for us in Perth, so
yeah.
Love it. Mix of lemongrass paste.
Yeah.
Ginger, garlic, and hope you like it, man.
Yeah, and we've got the fortune cookies as well.
Fortune cookies for the end.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for the last bit, alright?
Yeah.
Just a little something for all the guests we have.
Nice.
At the end.
Yeah.
Have your little fortune told at the end.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm pretty excited for those fortune cookies, you know what I'm saying,
Alright. What martial arts do you do, and how long have you been doing them for?
So my favorite martial arts would be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been doing that for about roughly 10 years now. I'd say a good solid 10 years.
Yeah. And where do you train at?
So I train at two gyms actually, and how I do it is I split it up. So with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's two ways you can train. In the gi, which is the uniform, which we see with the belts and the the bit of the kimono, some people call it. So that I will do at Ama Gym at Balcatta, because they're very known for training the uniform in the gi. And in no gi basically means you're doing without the gi. So you're doing with either like a tight t-shirt, a normal t-shirt, or what we would call a rash guard, which is basically like a compression shirt. So I'll do that at Drill Combat Academy in June.
Okay. What made you start martial arts, and what made you stay?
Well, I really started martial arts training when I just turned 21. I had a big load of cash on my hands. Like I was making bank, on top of my Alistair. I was like, I have all this money, I might as well start doing a hobby. So I started looking to get into martial arts, and I dabbled in a few different areas. Did a bit of Muay Thai, did a bit of karate, did a bit of Krav Maga, and then I eventually found Jiu-Jitsu. But naturally, I just stuck to that one because it was just a bit more appealing to me. It was a bit more fun. I was able to connect more in the training and retain everything a bit more. It was easy. The gym where I was training at that time was really easy to get to. And so I started first with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just because I wanted to have an extra hobby, really. Some people start for self-defense, some people start to because they want to compete, but really I just wanted to do something in my spare time when I wasn't working, when I wasn't studying.
Fair enough.
And what made me stay was really the community and the people around you. It's like going back to high school, going back to study. You're seeing people every day, you're seeing your friends, and that was what it was like going into the gym, seeing my friends and just hanging out with them, just talking and hanging out. So even when we weren't training, we were still hanging out. So that's what really made me stay, is the people. And that's a really big factor for me when it comes to like martial arts as training. I'm there for the people as well as myself.
Do you remember your first class?
I do. I do. Especially with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with the gi. The very first class, because I was really shy kid back then. You get uniform, you gotta get changed. I was really shy to get changed in front of everyone. So what I used to do is I used to get changed at home. And get in the car and drive there in the full uniform, ready to go. But funny enough, because I've never worn a uniform before, turns out I was actually tying my pants the wrong way, Alistair. Because with Jiu-Jitsu pants, for you guys that know, there's a specific way to tie them, and I thought you just tie big knots. So I ended up tying it was just one big scrunchy pair of pants, but you gotta pull them to the sides. I didn't realize that. So the first few classes, I think people started notice, like, you can actually make those pants actually fit you if you just pull aside. It's like, what? I was like, oh, wow. So then I realized how to do it. So I remember the first class. And I was a bit shy. Then, guys, grab a partner, and I'm just like looking around and going, oh, frick. I was like, all right, you look like you don't know what you're doing. Sweet, I'll partner with you as well, man. So we're in the same boat. And after an hour passes, you know, you kind of just ease into it, it becomes natural. And the more you go, it becomes normal.
Yeah.
And and that's another thing about, you know, training jiu-jitsu or any martial arts, is that you also will eventually build that confidence in yourself and being around other people, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. When did you start, how long after jiu-jitsu made you, like, when did you start wrestling? And like what made
So
you...
I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about, you know, at this time, probably about like 8-7 years.
Okay.
And I didn't know that there was any wrestling schools in Perth.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to try.
Yeah.
I always wanted to try, because I used to always see like American freestyle wrestling in movies and all that. And I literally just went on Google and just went WA freestyle wrestling in. And then the gym at the time, Gladiator Wrestling, they were the only gym that had a proper website at the time, so I had no choice but to go to them, because they're the only one that had a legit website. So I went to them, went to the first class, you know, just loved it. And same as, you know, coming to jiu-jitsu first time, you know, not sure what's going on, came in there with a new perspective, new eyes, and just enjoyed it. And but that's always the hardest step when it comes to training and decide to pick up any martial arts, the very first class. And what I always tell people, it's a good suggestion, if you already know someone that's already training and you want to get into training, go with them. Let's say if, like, you know, one of my best friends, Brandon, he's never trained jiu-jitsu before. He wanted to try, but he was really shy to enter the first class. So I just said, bro, I'll just come with you, man. I'll just come with him. And that's a really good way to kind of like ease the tension if you go with a friend, to get them to come with you instead of just going alone. Because going alone to a gym environment can be a very intimidating, daunting task. But if you go with a friend or someone, it kind of like eases the pressure. So that's a really good way to approach it.
No, I agree. Like, I know, especially like jiu-jitsu and wrestling, it's so hard to understand. I still remember the days where I still don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. And then you still have that same feeling, like, you know, when you watch like for example, I watch a lot of like Gordon Ryan nowadays. You know, like those ADCC matches, you know, those instructionals. So when I remember when I used to watch the matches back in 2017 when they came out, and then they go all, like, you know, 5 years later, like nowadays I'm watching it again, and you know, you catch a lot of things that you didn't know before, so it like takes you back to be like, oh, you know, like, actually I don't know as much, you know, I thought.
Like, you know, hearing all these, you know, first day come in, you're hearing all these like new terms and phrases. We go and deal here, the guy, Spider guy. Now if he goes into a last suit and he pummels in, I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? No clue what's going on.
I think when you and me first started, I think we were around the same like era. I was it's a couple of years, like, no, I was 2016. When did you start training?
I would have started training like actual BJJ. My very first gym would have been around 2013. Around 2013.
Okay, so yeah, it wasn't far from you. But with I think with our generation, like our era of doing jiu-jitsu, it was like gi and no gi was the exact same game plans. And like nowadays, you have to differentiate them. Like the general, you know, rule set and everything is the same. You know, when it comes to gi and no gi, but the moves that you pick, the techniques that you prioritize, is different for gi and no gi.
Like the old school generation of BJJ guys, and even old school guys in Perth, they'll say, oh, how do you approach a gi and no gi match? Oh, it's the same thing.
Same thing,
Most of them will say same thing, the old school guys, you know. And let's be honest, a lot of the old school guys tend to be quite stubborn in their ways. And I was like, this is how I was taught, it has to be this way, it has to be the same. But with the new styles coming out, is that people are now realizing that you do have to approach things differently and learn how to adapt and look at things differently, you know, because they are different. There's a different pace. There's a different contents of the round. You know, it's less friction without the gi. Different with the rule sets. Different what you can do. Like guards positions. Like for instance, if I want to be technical, playing something like Mantis guard works really good in no gi compared to the gi, like stuff like that, you know, or something like Spider guard, for instance, fantastic in the gi, not so well in the no gi, because you can literally just strip the grips off with the wrist, but with the gi, Spider guards, you're meant to hold the sleeves. With no gi, you can't do that. So like, you know, so that's why it is different.
To somebody who knows nothing about these 4 kind of grappling rule sets.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with gi.
Yeah.
Okay, for somebody who's no idea anything about it, how would you describe it to them? Just straight, like imagine like I'm somebody who doesn't know.
It's like imagine if someone grabs your t-shirt and just doesn't want to let go. That's pretty much a gi match, you know. It literally is, you know, in a gi match it's literally someone grabbing into a piece of fabric of your clothing and all you do is pretty much just breaking that grip and hoping that they let go before you can do anything else to them.
You know what really bugs me? When guys are always like, oh, what? I don't like to train the gi.
Yeah.
Because it's not realistic to be grabbing.
Yeah, I hear this one a lot as well.
Well, you're gonna always fight without your clothes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. People's like, oh, gi's, no gi's not realistic.
Yeah.
Because it's more like an MMA fight. But exactly, if you were out on the street, not everyone's walking around in spandex or half naked. You know, for instance, if I'm walking down to...
I fucking know about
exactly. I know as well. Like I said, if I'm... Because the purpose of the gi, right, was made, it's just so guys could train self-defense of what it'd be like training with someone with a jacket, but the gi was made so instead of using your nice jacket you bought for $9 down the road, the gi will last. The gi doesn't rip. Yeah. And that's the whole point of training in the uniforms, that you can train with this material and you don't have to worry about it breaking or tearing and then you have to buy a new one. That was the purpose for the gi, for self-defense.
So the full, do you know the full history of the gi when it comes to like jiu-jitsu?
A bit, but enlighten me, Alistair.
So because jiu-jitsu started from judo, right? It came from, you know, Mitsuo Maeda, coming from Japan, who was a judo player. Yeah. Now, the gi was you'll see that judo gis is slightly bigger sleeve. Yeah. Because in Japan, that was the casual dress when judo first appeared with Jigoro Kano when they first appeared. So that was the casual dress at the time. Plus, they have a belt to hold the kimono together. Now, when they made a move to Brazil, I believe when the Gracie family started building up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they realized that massive sleeves were not realistic as casual wear at the time, you know, because it's a more westernized society. So it'd be like a jacket sleeve, like a coat sleeve. So that's why the sleeves are a bit smaller. But to keep with the tradition, they keep the belts and they keep the folding of the gi. But the basic idea of it still stays the same, where it's kind of gripping up with, you know, a piece of clothing, right? But you'll see that the sleeves are a bit smaller. Same with the pants, it's like smaller. Circumference is, you know, when they first came around. And it's just, like you said, a durable piece of training uniform that you wear for training, right? Like people wear belts, people wear, you know, they have collars in their clothes. You know,
like I said, like modern day application, you know, most times if you're going to get mugged in a car park or robbed in a store, there's a highly likely chance that guys could be wearing a hoodie. Very highly likely chance, you know what I mean? And it happens all the time.
And you're used to, for example, controlling somebody with the clothes on. You see it all the time. For example, like hockey. Same thing.
We're on right now, baby.
Exactly.
That's my nuts. Gordon Bombay represent. You know, in hockey they'll grip, you know, the collar, the sleeve to get a grip, so they get a better punch in.
Exactly.
You know, same with people that work the door. It's like, ask any guy who works the door.
They don't wear ties, I understand.
Yeah.
If you wear a tie,
you surround. I asked him, like, when was the last time you threw a guy out the club who was butt naked? You know what I mean? It's like, no, I usually throw people out when they're clothes and they're dressed, you know. So, exactly, you know what I'm saying?
So like grabbing clothes is a completely normal thing to, you know, to be grabbing, right? And even if in a real life situation, I think there were two factors why people don't wear the gi. One is MMA, and one is the aesthetic of it. It looks funny. You know, like I understand, you know.
But you also get some people who are the opposite. They do it for the aesthetics. They love wearing the gi.
I love wearing the gi.
Especially the Brazilians. They're like, for them, wearing the gi is like a flex for them, you know, especially the actual Brazilians. And then it's kind of armor for them, you know. So there's some people who are the opposite as well.
I do favor a judo gi.
Nice.
I like a judo gi much better. Mizuno, that's my dream gi, a blue Mizuno gi. I wanna get one of those to fit well. You know, so expensive.
If you're in a jiu-jitsu gym and you see a guy in Mizuno gi, you just don't know. He's probably a judo. Like, it's only judo guys wear those gis.
Like he has a white belt, you know.
It's like this guy's probably a judo guy with the Mizuno gi. You see it, especially BJJ tournaments here in Perth, you know, one like the BJJ and the guys go Mizuno gi. I'm like, oh dude, you better watch out for this guy, he's got Mizuno gi. You can throw. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm just saying, you can't get that gi anywhere.
Okay. How about no-gi? How would you explain no-gi to somebody who has no idea?
It's like trying to catch a wet fish, Alistair. You can go for a fish. Yeah, trying to catch a wet fish and trying to hold it down. You know, like a slippery snake.
Yeah.
You know, because the thing of no-gi, like the first few rounds when you first start training, you can get your grips, but after, you know, a few rounds, maybe 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, the sweat, you know, becomes a factor. The sweat gets on your wrists, sweat gets behind the neck. You know, sweat gets on your palms and your hands. So simply just gripping style and holding it down becomes a lot more harder to compared to in the gi where you can just grab that fabric, and that fabric is also a tool to hold someone down and control them. But with no gi, it's like, you know, if I were to oil myself up on oil and you were to catch me, it's a difficult task.
They got to check for Vaseline and stuff.
Check for Vaseline. So yeah, that's why with no gi, it's more. How people say it's more exciting because it's a faster pace. There's always constant moving around because, you know, there's that slippery factor. There's less friction involved compared to wearing clothing.
No, there's one thing people actually don't understand as well. That gi and no gi usually have different rule sets as well. Here in Perth, the biggest competition, I think it's safe to say, that is SGT. Is the most popular one. It used to be cheaper than the IBJJF, the AFBJJ ones. Now it's about the same price. But I think it does still bring a bigger crowd. So for those of you guys who don't know, SGT is a rule set specific to Perth and actually originated from your gym.
So Amma Gym, run by Adam Metcalf. It's usually him and mostly members of Amma Gym are the usual ones that run it, set it up, set the tables up.
Of course, you have the SGT that's specific to Perth. But then you have, you know, ADCC. You have sub only like EBI.
Sub only EBI, ADCC.
Fight to Win. Which is Battlegrounds here in Perth. We have Battlegrounds, which is the same rules as Fight to Win. Any submission goes, cranks and everything. Then you also have the most popular AFBJJ. Which we have here is the ABJJF. Which is same rule set pretty much. And then you have, I think something I'm missing. I think that's pretty much it.
Here in Perth?
I think Perth, that's all the rule sets, isn't it?
That's mainly, they're the main ones. You got other random ones here and there, like Casa Grossa or anything, but
that's the same.
But they're all the same as the IBJJF rule set anyway. But they're the main ones, you know. Well, usually it's either going to be sub only or it's going to be points included. That's basically how you differentiate between the two. One's points are going to be included, another one only a winner's if there's a submission.
And then now you have wrestling, right? I think with three main popular styles of wrestling internationally known. Would be folk style, which is like collegiate wrestling. Then you got freestyle and Greco-Romans. The last two are they are, you know, grouped as Olympic wrestling. The only two wrestling styles in the Olympics. So how would you describe freestyle to somebody who has no idea about it?
Well, freestyle, when you think of the word freestyle, it basically just means anything goes. Like whatever takedown you can get to bring this person down to the mat, it's all legal pretty much, you know. Without getting too much detail, I think there's only like maybe a few moves that you technically can't do in freestyle to take someone down, but most of the time you can do most, any method to take someone down, you will be awarded as points. It's the difference is, like jiu-jitsu, the aim is submission, but with wrestling there are no submissions, so the aim is to accumulate enough points to be in your favor at the end of the match, or to eventually pin them.
Let's run through all the different ways, like for freestyle and Greco-Roman, just run through all the different ways you can win.
Okay, so for freestyle, you can either win, let's accept the easiest one so far is direct pin. The opponents, both shoulders are on the mat for a good solid 1 second, it's basically like a knockout or instant submission. You pin them, you win. Or let's say you accumulate enough points, so until the end of the round, the 2 rounds, if you've got the most points, let's say you're up 15 points and the guy's got 6 points, you win. And the third way is basically, I'm not coming up with what it's technically called, but people say, oh, you just teched him.
Technical superiority.
Technical superiority, that's the one. It basically means you've cleared 10 points ahead of your opponent. Let's say we're wrestling and I score 10 points on you and you've hit nothing, you're on 0, automatic win. Or let's say you're on 2 points but I eventually get my points and my takedowns to climb up to 12 points.
Yeah. Then you're 10-point lead.
Now I've got a 10-point lead. So they're the three main ways to win in a freestyle match.
Yeah. And then Greco-Roman would be 8-point lead.
Yeah. Greco-Roman is basically the same thing to win. It's just that instead of the 10-point lead, it's basically an 8-point lead.
Yeah. We'll stick to freestyle. We'll be too confusing.
It gets confusing with the numbers. Yeah, no.
So, freestyle. I think when I had to tell this kid who had no idea anything about freestyle. The way I described to him, you can grab anything from head to toe to throw somebody to the floor. I think pretty much true. Like you can use the friction in the shoes, especially people don't realize actually like the shoes are a big help for yourself. You know.
Yeah.
The friction and the bottom of the shoes, the rubber on the bottom of the shoes, actually catch so much more friction than you realize.
Yeah.
I think people don't actually realize, especially with like if you have slippery mats, when you compete with like slippery mats, like I think SGT was one of the slipperier mats that I've competed on. Like when I was warming up and just trying to shoot, it was just I was just sliding.
It's super slippery as Matt say.
I lose like so much distance.
Yeah.
Just like because I don't have my shoes.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the same like friction that I'm used to.
Yeah.
You know. And then I think the only thing you can't grab per se is 2 hands on the head.
Yeah.
Right? Or like a Thai style catch.
And you can't like do like finger manipulations, like like specific. Like
people still do it. Yeah.
People still do it, but like depends on the referee kind of in a way. If you got I won't say the name. I'll say it after.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think I know.
if he's watching me, he'll be like, he'll literally slap your hands.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he bugs me like that. But yeah, what was it like? Yeah, like I think wrestling is just like taking somebody down, isn't it?
Yeah, just taking them down and just showing superiority that you've, in a way, aggression that you've out manhandled this one, because you can not only get points taking them down, but when I say manhandle, if you ragdoll them around the mat, that's more points for you. Like if I were to grab you around your waist and spin you around, you know, that's points for me.
Exposure.
Yeah, they call it exposure, but like I said, you're literally showing that I'm literally ragdolling and I'm physically moving this guy at my will. So that's more points in your favor because you're moving them at your will.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think pretty much more or less the same in Greco-Roman. I think more or less the same mentality. Yeah. The only difference would be like you can't grab anything below the hips. Yeah. I think that's the the only,
you can't make any obvious like attacks to the leg or using your legs as a form of attack.
Can't use your legs like people always compare it to judo.
Yeah, in a way,
Yeah, but like judo, you can use your legs to catch things like that.
Yeah, like your legs can get like knocked in the way in the.
They're there.
But it's there. Yeah. You know, usually they have that slide. But if you make an obvious, you know, like you're hooking your leg around their leg, then they've called it. For instance, like a Greco-Roman shot, you still put your foot in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle.
At the ground. Yeah. That you can still do. Yeah. You know, but it's only when it becomes obvious that let's say you're hooking your leg around their leg, then that's when they call us and not use the legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like the most common example would be like Uchimata.
Yeah.
You know, like Greco-Roman style Uchimata would be like straight lifting with the hip. You know, where the leg goes through the middle and you just kind of raise the hip up.
Yeah.
I think it's more called a front Uchimata. In judo, but you can't use the thigh or anything to like lift the person up. Yeah. Then. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For those different like four different sports and rule sets. Just like in case anybody wants to know, I think that's pretty much
all
the basic gist of it.
All of them are all equally fun. You know, and if you're living here in Perth, equally difficult, but also equally rewarding as well. And if you're living here in Perth, there's many clubs that you can find that will train those styles. You know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's a Jiu-Jitsu club pretty much in every corner, every suburb that you'll go to. Wrestling, I'll be honest, you do got to do your research more, depending on what suburb you're in or what you're closer to. But in this day and age, there are more gyms now being open to accept wrestling as part of their curriculum now and part of their training. So it's actually easier to train wrestling now, especially freestyle wrestling, compared to what it was even like 2 or 3 years ago. Back then when there were only like 2 or 3 clubs, but now there's more.
The problem, like I've taught in a few gyms as well, like just one-off classes and stuff. The biggest problem I found was when they say wrestling, they don't specify what rule set or what your aim is for wrestling, right? They're just like, oh, we teach wrestling, but you don't know, is it freestyle? What would you compete in?
Yeah, when you say wrestling, are you talking about wrestling for MMA? That's a really common one. There's with gyms. Oh, we teach wrestling, but it's mainly wrestling for MMA because they got the no shoes on. You know, they're doing with striking range. You know, but you know, but they are so, as you're saying, it's difficult. It's so hard to find like actual certified like coaches who've got experience in the field of freestyle wrestling here in Perth, and that's the Perth dilemma. You know, because it's still a growing sport here.
You know, like I think WA, no, not WA itself, but like Gladiators wrestling team. They've actually got the most like national champions of things.
We can still go. We can still keep going. Gladiator Wrestling we had the most. They were basically really was the first wrestling club in WA, so they pretty much set the standard.
I think like nationally, so they've got Tom Barnes who just got bronze
in the Commonwealth Games.
You have Stephen Ersick who's national champion. The only guy to give him a challenge was Tanyo, who I trained with at Wolves. But then Tanyo, I think it was just it was a close match, I believe, in the last national. So like, Tanyo and Ersick is like neck and neck. You know, when it comes to competing in freestyle. Greco-Roman wise, I don't think anybody can keep up with Tanyo at 65.
Oh no, 65, and even Ando. You know, there's no one in here.
70 something.
There's no one in Perth that can compete against Ando.
Even freestyle, he could wreck everybody freestyle, I reckon.
Oh yeah. He's just naturally gifted, that dude.
I think. I think it's just more his technique is so precise.
It's so good.
He actually is like not the most.
He's not physical. You look at him. He looks like a skinny guy. He's got no chest, no biceps, no shoulders.
His grip is like it's just like the vacuum seal. You know, when he grips you, he's not letting go. You know. No, what was I gonna say? No, I think it was shit. Gladiators. They got like Stephen Ersick, Tom Barnes. Who's the other? They just finished nationals in March. I can't remember who else. Some great guys.
They got Michael Fragamini and all that. Young Nima Barrows. He's now transitioned to MMA. He just won his MMA fight last night at one of the country shows in Geraldton. Maybe Geraldton. I could be wrong. Sorry, Nima. But he just won his one of his MMA fights. But not only that, like Alan, the head coach of Wrestling, he's also got past athletes who have competed in Commonwealth Games who have now gone over to live interstate. I think there's another guy, an Afghani guy named Ali, easily one of the best 57 kilo guys in Australia. But he now lives over east, over now. So he,
they've done great,
so he's got past champions that have gone to Commonwealth Games levels, but now live over east, all have transitioned into BJJ. Another big one's Alina Coleman. Alina Coleman. She got to like Youth Olympics level, really good wrestler. She's now transitioned into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She now trains at AMA. She was one of Anna Landy's original athletes when she was a teenager, and now she's transitioned to BJJ now. Alan's got a lot of past like previous athletes who have transitioned to either continue their training of wrestling over east, or they can transition to either wrestling, even into jiu-jitsu, or they're transitioned into like MMA.
I think that was like most people's mentalities. Like that's most people's mentalities with like wrestling. Like they just do it like just to benefit other their main goals. Like they use wrestling to help their
usually it's a supplement to what they're already training. Like they always treat it as a supplement, not like I think that's why the guys at Gladiators have done so well. Because that is their main sport. They do nothing else. They do nothing else. Exactly. Like that's the only rule set that they think of. I've been trying to find some time to make it down, but like. And they're the only school gym that will train 5 times a week, 6 times a week as well. They do. Full-time wrestling gym.
Monday to Saturday. No. Okay. Last one before we go overboard.
Sure.
Somebody who. Who's a bit hesitant about starting but has a slight interest. What are 3 pieces of advice you would give to them?
Okay, my advice is you're interested, you want to start. let's say you're living in a suburb, I'll obviously go on Google, check out what's in your suburb, have a look at the names on that suburb, and then what I will do is I would actually go on social media and check their Facebook and Instagram account. So what will happen is, you may hear of a school, but you don't know what they're like. So what I'll do is, I'll check their Instagram, see what they're posting, see how they write things, see what photos come up, and see if their culture lines up with my values and what I believe in and what I want to get.
Not fair.
Because like I said, I can go to their Instagram, and I say, oh, great. Let's say, for instance, I'm a single mother or a single dad. I need a gym for my family, for my kids. I'll go to their Instagram. All right, do they do kids classes? The kids look like they're enjoying themselves in the photos on their social media. Or let's say I'm an athlete. I want to get into MMA. I'll go to their Instagram. All right, do they offer MMA classes? I'm looking at their videos. What are their rounds? What are their sparring rounds at? So I'll do my research before I just walk into a gym. Look at the name. Look at their social media. That would be my first piece of it. Of advice. Second piece of advice: make sure you have the appropriate gear. So let's say if you go into a gear class, and it's gear class, make sure you give them a call. Say, hey, do you guys have any gears I can borrow for my first trial?
Like even know what it is. People hear the name Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but they don't know anything about it. I think it's something small, but it's a big thing for me. When you go to a no-gi class, you don't wear something with pockets or zippers.
My pay is if you go to a no class or a martial art, don't wear your high-vis work jacket or your high-vis work shirt. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Do they do that?
I've seen people do it all the time. They come to train, they're still in their the work uniform from the previous shit. They're like, bro, come on, man.
Basic hygiene. Not fair.
And the third one. So we covered do your research. Have the right gear.
Be prepared pretty much.
Be prepared pretty much. And the third one, those two ones are really the main ones. But I think the third one would be come with an open mind to learn. And don't come as I've seen this before, I know what to do already. Always come in with a mind that you're open to learn. If the teacher or the coach suggests something, be like, okay, cool, and take it in and try to absorb it, and come in with humbly, what I'm saying, and don't think you know it all, you see it all, or this is what they did on TV, or this is how they did it on YouTube. Come in that you actually willingly say, okay, I'll take it in and I want to learn this, and respectfully, same thing. So they're my 3 points.
Okay. Oh, sweet. All right, I know you were eyeing the fortune cookies.
Go for it. I'll see a funny joke from the USA open to the end. Imagine you get a guest, he eats all this food, you open all these fortune cookies, it opens up and it writes, all this food was prepared, expired. Something like that. It's like, oh, you just ruined me. It's like, hope you like my chicken feet in there. So I was like, oh, it spun me out. Okay. Oh, this is nice.
All right, what's your fortune?
Okay, this is my fortune, which I hope will happen to me, and hopefully to you viewers out there as I share you this message. It says, happiness is like a sunbeam, which the least shadow intercepts, while adversity is as often as the rain of spring. Get that into you. I'll repeat that again. Happiness is like a sunbeam, which the least shadow intercepts, while adversity is as often as the rain of spring. So there are your thoughts today. I'm Joseph Prince. God bless you. Only Asians want to know those.
Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Great to have you. Hope to have you back again, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Anytime.
Hope you like the food as well.
Oh, it was great. I saved some for yourself and for the fridge.
One of the freeloaders.
For the freeloaders, and the camera can't see, but the whole time there's been 3 hungry people in the back, so I saved some chicken for you. I thought about you guys, okay? I'll let some rice. I'm a good Asian, You know when you go to an Asian house, there's always food, and then 2 hours later, another random group of Asians comes in and get more free food.
I don't know if you know this one. Do you have that plastic basket you put?
The basket. We usually put it on when we have, let's say, spring rolls. It flies out the spring rolls and put that plastic basket on top.
And then when you're hungry, 2 hours later, you lift up the basket, take one,
get one spring roll out. That's good. I've got one of them at home. They're good. They're good.
Thanks very much, man. Hope you have back.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.